Can you tell that I have a new camera? I have a new camera. I have a camera. I've never owned a camera before. The one that I used when the quality of my videos weren't obviously used with an iPhone was my mom's photography camera, and that's not meant for video. Here's the thing, you don't care. You don't care. And I know that you don't care because I never care when a YouTuber explains, oh, the reason you're hearing construction in the back is because somebody got buried alive underneath the concrete, or, oh, this happened. It's like the least interesting part. I don't even notice any differences or any obstacles until you point them out. Do you know what I really want? Those long utensils that the Koreans use. Those long handles, and then like the spoon is like here, and the handle's like this long. Because when they like eat in those mukbangs, it's like the perfect distance between man and consumption. Just that distance. I was gonna use the word length, but no. Okay, I asked you to ask me some questions because I am the most interesting person on earth, and I like the thing is that like I overshare too much, and half of these have already been answered. Okay, first question: favorite national tragedy. Would it be wrong to say 9/11? The reason that it's like probably my favorite isn't because like how many people died. It's just like that's the one holiday that comes around, and that's when I pull up all those documentaries on YouTube playing in another tab. What is your favorite Littlest Pet Shop and why? Okay, it was this one. This was the one that I owned. This was the prettiest one that I owned. She is a superstar. She's also Asian. And I know this because we have the same eye shape, and I'm Asian, and I said so. She was always like this celebrity, or like the pretty cousin in like Littlest Pet Shop series on YouTube. So that was probably my favorite. Here's the thing. I asked my mom the other day, I was like, so we never really discussed what was going to happen with my LPS possessions. Like, where are they now? They're not in my room, they're somewhere else. And she said, oh, I don't know, I must have donated them. The only LPS I own now are the lesbian cats from my skit. I mean, I'm not complaining. I would like to expand and have options. Thoughts on Adventure Time? I haven't actually seen Adventure Time. There's no reason why. I've never, like, I'm not like anti-Adventure Time. I've just never watched an episode. I'll start now, or at least I'll start when everyone like consistently bullies me, and then I have no choice to watch it, or else like I'll fall into a depression. How would you hit the Pentagon from underneath? Like the drill guy in the Incredibles movie, or like kind of in this direction. So it's like you don't just hit one, but like you kind of go up and across. Do you know what I mean? Is there a reason why your parents named you Asia, spelled differently? So my Nana actually named me. She saw that name in a newspaper and thought it was pronounced Asia. And here we are today. You know, my name was originally supposed to be Topanga before she introduced that name option to my parents. So in another universe, my name is Topanga. How did you come up with your user? So it's like an acronym of my full name. First, middle, last name. How do you manage to be so cool while liking cartoons that much, asking for a friend? I think it helps that I have a lot of friends who are my age and a year or two older than I who love things that are meant for children. I mean, sometimes you just gotta realize that being yourself is going to make you more comfortable in the long run than it is pretending to be everyone else. Favorite Steven Universe character? You know what? This might sound basic, but I love Steven. I love Steven. Whenever someone asks me, oh, so who's your favorite crystal gem? And I say Steven, they're like, no. Like an actual gem. He is a gem. Just because he's biracial, that doesn't make him less of a gem than the others. Okay, it kind of does, but like, you know what I mean? So what? I'm such a sucker for characters who age up as the series goes. I love that they aged him up and they made him taller and that they deepened his voice. I was just like, oh my god. Yeah. How do you know when you're not ready for a relationship? Honestly, I just think it's weird how like we'll be attracted to people and the way they get together is, okay, I find you attractive, okay, and you find me attractive. what can we find that we have in common? It's like so animalistic, which is fine because that's what we are, but still, it's like, ugh. Don't go find a relationship and try to match with a person to fit that. You should get into a relationship when you meet someone who makes you thinking about getting into a relationship. You know, I have these friends that I love so dearly, and they're like, God, Asia, I don't know. Oh, God, I want to find someone. No, you need to find help. I think I saw you on an Amazon ad on YouTube today, LOL. You probably did. There was a bit that we did for the full episode that I had, and we had a furry suit in the closet with me. And it was kind of supposed to be just like an acknowledgement to the running gag that I'm a furry. And it was easier to convince the production team to get a furry suit than I thought. It was a brief mention on a 40-minute call, and I show up and it's there in the closet waiting for me. Favorite song right now, The Suburbs by Arcade Fire. I found that song while I was studying for my math exams, and it was probably the most stressful time of my life. Those several months I had trouble sleeping. I could not sit and enjoy anything for a long period of time until I started thinking about it, and I listened to that song as I was preparing for these exams over and over because I just really liked it. And you'd think that listening to a song that kind of reminds you of that time would bring you stress and it wouldn't be your favorite song. But when I took my midterm, I had this like sense of relief that I got a good grade on it. I had a sense of relief. And the chorus of The Suburbs is, sometimes I can't believe it, I'm moving past the feeling. And so I have moved past this feeling of the midterm anxiety. I can't believe it. I've moved past it. Now we prepare for the final exam. And I kept listening to that song preparing for my final exams to be like, okay, don't worry. It's just a feeling. You'll pass it eventually. And I did. And I got an A. I've never gotten an A as a final grade in math ever in my life. What was the last YouTube video idea you scrapped? I tried reading a fanfiction on AO3 of Jake from Stay Farm and Flo from Progressive, because I thought there'd be a niche community of people who would appreciate this maybe like enemies to lovers trope between Flo and Jake, even though I know that Jake is a married man. And yeah, Flo is probably a lesbian, even though apparently she goes on a date with this guy. I'm not really keeping up with Flo's love story. There's a lot of storyline in these Progressive commercials. Anyway, I think she just needs to read the master doc and realize. But there wasn't many fanfictions on there that were good enough. So if one of you wants to send one my way, I'll do a live reading. I'll do a little podcast, a little audiobook. I think that'd be kind of fun. Least favorite Barbie movie. I don't really like the Christmas Carol one. I don't know. I like when Barbie is Barbie. I mean, yes, each Barbie movie takes place in a completely cinematic different universe, but she has like the same personality that I like. And this one, she's just like, I understand that's the point of the Christmas Carol, but I don't like her. I don't. Also, Thumbelina's kind of weird. That's not Barbie. That's just something else. I don't know what it is, but it's not Barbie. All right, last question. What are your plans for YouTube? As of right now, uploading once a week. Yeah, I know. Crazy. I stunned a lot of you with that 2 uploads last week. But yeah, this is definitely one of those things where I have to keep doing it in order to get used to it. And you know, I was like, oh, well, I should probably have a consistent routine because nothing is ever routine in my life. That's a lie. I have a set routine. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week with something a little bit more interesting. Let's just kick things off here. You know, a little get to know me before. I've been doing this for 3 years, so you already know. You can tell that I was homeschooled. That's what bothers me.